Hi everyone, it's Abigail of the Black Book Space. Today I'm here to talk to you about a great book that I just read. Yes, we're celebrating more books by Black authors today. And the name of this book is Secret Indiscretions. So if you want to hear how I felt about this book, highly suggest you come back, grab some juice, some wine, some water, whatever, and come back and celebrate this book with me. Okay, let's get into it. It's so funny because I was talking to some friends the other day about books. We were talking about how much we love romance novels, but I realized like my favorite type of romance novels have to have a little bit of like mess in there too. I like a little bit of not necessarily drama, but sometimes a little bit of mystery too, like whodunit. That's why I like a lot of Zane's books, because she brings a lot of things like therapy and mental illness in there, and talks about how important it is to get that therapy before you're out like just doing crazy stuff. That is one of the reasons I love those books. This had a little bit of that in there too. So this book is centered around the beautiful Geneva, who is a hairstylist. She works at a beautiful hair salon with some other ladies, and she has a trifling husband named Johnny. So first of all, that name right off, I was like, I need him to have a better name than that. But I think I felt that way because he was such a trifling person, and it made me really upset. So Johnny and Geneva have been married for a while. I'd say they've been married about 7 years, and Johnny is a successful real estate agent, right? He really knows his stuff. He's always like selling these beautiful houses to people. However, sometimes while he's selling those houses, he gets extra services from his clients, and he's left a string of women in his wake who are just falling all over him and really like upset with him. I don't believe all of the women know that he's married, but a few of them do. And it turns out to be really bad because he's a horrible liar, meaning not like a horrible person who lies, like he's not very good at lying. And he tries to bring his friend in on the shenanigans with him, but his friend has moved on. He has a beautiful relationship, so he's not trying to get involved with these things. And then enter the other side of people, Samuel and Vivana, who Samuel is a principal at a little school. He's been the principal there for a while. He's got his doctorate, a very professional man, and Vivana is his wife, who's also trifling. So you know what happens here. These two couples don't necessarily know each other, but Johnny and Vivana do, because they end up having this illicit relationship. It turns out, of course, this is how it has to turn out, right? Because it cannot just be a normal like secret thing. Samuel gets involved with Vivana, and Vivana, according to him, the way he'd look at it, the way he'd describe it, Vivana is crazy as hell. But that's not true. I think that Vivana is within her rights to be a crazy person to a certain extent. Vivana tricked Samuel basically into marrying her because he thought she was this really warm, loving person. It turned out she really just was with him for ulterior motives, just, for his money basically, I guess, because she knew he was successful. Then she meets Johnny, and she thinks that she and Johnny are going to, I guess this is probably Johnny and Geneva. I think that Vivana thinks that Johnny is going to leave his wife for her, but that's not the way Johnny rolls. Johnny likes to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to be married, but also have somebody on the side. And Vivana is like, but that's not the life I'm going to live. I do not want to be a side chick my entire life. We need to get married. We need to go to Mexico on this beautiful vacation, like all this stuff. And because of the trifling person he is, Johnny gets really scared, and he tries to tell Vivana that that's not going to happen. Okay. I don't want to spoil what happens in this book. I don't. But something really funny happens in here. At least I thought it was. It was the sort of thing that you want to see people get their comeuppance. And Johnny definitely gets his. But in order to find out how, you really need to read this book. It's so, so good. The link to it is in the comments, because I have an entire playlist on bookshop.org full of books by authors who love the romance, who are great in the romance genre, and Trice Hickman is absolutely amazing. This is a prequel to another book that she wrote. She has a series called Dangerous Love. So you have to go in there, find out what happens to Johnny. Now, one thing I will say that's really sad, and I like that it made an appearance in this book, is that Johnny isn't just out here in a vacuum being slutty. Like, he really has deep-seated I don't want to say self-hatred because I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but he has deep-seated issues of things that he saw as a child that really led him down this road, which is really sad. And we know that that's something that happens a lot in our community and the world in general. Really, really sad stuff. So because Johnny didn't get all of those issues that he had and all of those things that he saw, all that trauma that he experienced, dealt with as a child, he brought it into the lives of other people. And he even mentioned, like, he came to Geneva. It was really, really sad. This was like before a very tragic moment in the book. He came to her and said, like, I never meant to hurt you. And sadly, I think he probably really meant that. But it didn't make anything better. It actually made things a lot worse. And that is why people, not only is it important to celebrate books like this, and to show us, you know, in these lights where it's like, hey, it's okay for you to get help. It's okay for you to work on yourself before you're trying to be in this relationship. It's important for us to get that help, right? So not only important for us to celebrate books like these, but that's why it's important to celebrate books like these, because we don't always get shown this way when we're watching movies, right? So, you know, we have a lot of movies right now in Hollywood that kind of show a representation of Black love, but it doesn't show it in the way where we're getting help to make sure that we're loving everyone around us in the best light that we can. And I think that this book kind of like touched on that a little bit, and that's why I really like it, and that's why I want to celebrate it today. And I highly recommend that you get yourself a copy. I actually found a copy at one of my local book thrift stores. Highly recommend it. I had actually never heard of this author before, but she is amazing with the written word, okay? She describes things beautifully. You can see what's happening in here, all the fights, and you can see people, the anger in their eyes when Vivanna is telling Samuel, telling Samuel off. She did that a few times, her actual husband, and of course, telling Johnny off. It got really wild in here. And if you like a book that has the romance, but also some suspense, you know, a whodunit type of thing, a book that kind of starts at the end and takes you back, this is definitely the book for you. I know that's my type of book, so I was really happy to have found it, and I finished it in a matter of days because it was that good. It was that juicy. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that you do something that brings you joy. Keep celebrating books by Black authors, and I will see you later. Bye.